Hello everyone, welcome back to Learn British English Free, the YouTube channel. My name is Chris, I'm the English teacher on the channel. This is going to be a special conversation lesson. We're going to talk about British food, and I have a guest with me today, my good friend and flatmate right now, Francesco.
Ciao everybody, I'm Francesco.
Francesco, I can call you Fla, right?
Yeah, of course, please.
Thank you very much. Where are you from?
I'm from Taranto, which is in the most southern part of Italy, in a region called Puglia, which is one of the best regions in Italy, so please come to visit it.
Can you tell us some good things about Taranto, why we should visit it?
So we have really good food, really good seaside. Um, you will learn how to drive properly in Italy if you can visit Taranto.
Lovely. Okay.
A lot of archaeology, a lot of history.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to book my ticket very soon.
Yeah, please.
Okay, cool. And
Don't drive.
how long have you been in the UK?
It has been 8 months up to now. Yeah, 8 months.
Cool. What do you think about it here?
So it's really different from Italy. I would say so. Cambridge, I really like it. I mean, it's quite a peaceful town. A lot of bicycles, not so much traffic. People are friendly. So I
Great.
would say I like it up to now. Yeah.
And what are some differences about Cambridge compared to Taranto or other places in Italy?
You seriously want to ask me this question? So, well, let's say. Sorry, mom. I'm so sorry for this. In People are much more friendly here, I would say, and they're less prone to rage.
Okay.
Um, Even though in Taranto we are much more direct, so if we don't like something or somebody, we tend to directly address the person we don't like instead of saying, "Oh yeah, please, after you," and then just cursing behind their back. Yeah, yeah. So,
Nice. Okay.
well, yeah, in Toronto, historically, we've been fishermen and dedicated to, let's say, ironworks. So,
Ironworks.
yeah,
Okay.
there is one of the biggest foundry in Europe.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean,
Nice. One word you used earlier, that was rage,
mm,
extreme anger. Really,
yes,
it's possible in Italy.
it's possible in Italy, especially if you annoy somebody coming from Taranto.
Okay, and in Cambridge we don't really do rage. Very calm, very polite, like you
Yeah,
said.
really, really calm, really polite.
Yeah.
I should admit that I was the typical guy from Taranto once, since a guy didn't give way to me, and I was right guy, so always give way when you should. And I had my Taranto genes come out, and I did a huge road rage. But the guy
Okay.
was really polite, so didn't answer back and just went away.
Everyone went merrily on their way. Right?
Yeah, Mary. Yeah,
Lovely.
absolutely.
And one word you mentioned earlier, Foundry. Oh, what is this place?
So it's a factory where they melt metal and they do alloys, they do, metal sheets. They basically work metal materials in
Okay,
order to have some products.
so there's alloys and metal sheets there, right? In
Yeah,
Foundry.
all kind of metals basically, like
Okay.
steel, for example. Steel, it's an alloy,
Yeah.
so they will have different powders for different coming from different minerals, and they melt them together, and then they will produce this alloy.
Okay. Nice. And we were going to talk a bit about food. Is food an important topic for Italian people?
Yes, food is a vital topic for Italian people, and that's why we get so, how can I say,
Passionate.
passionate about that. Yeah, and that's why we don't like people messing up with other recipes.
Okay. So like messing with the recipes, right?
Yeah, we don't really
Right.
like that because food is really important for us. And it's a moment, it's like an aggregation moment. So people usually they cook together, we eat together. We really like talking about food, recipes. And so
Okay.
yeah, it's really important.
So it's important for family and friends to bond and to spend time together.
Yeah. Usually, big families they have these never-ending lunches or dinners.
Nice.
So yeah, well, we usually don't bring pre-made food.
Okay.
Usually, we just cook all together from scratch,
Nice.
and so yeah,
Sounds good.
it's like a bonding time.
What about British food? Could you describe it for us? Your findings, your opinion about it since you've been
Yes,
here?
yeah. So it's really spicy. I mean, not as hot, but with a lot of spices.
Right.
You guys are really fond of Indian cuisine and
Yeah.
Asian cuisine.
Yeah. So the Asian cuisines, especially the Indian ones, the curries are the most popular types of dishes here. A lot of the
Yeah,
time.
in fact, they told me that chicken tikka masala is your national dish.
It's basically true. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, whereas we don't use so many spices. I mean, we use lots of herbs, um, but we don't have like pungent tastes or pungent flavors.
Okay.
Everything is quite rounded. It's we always look for a balance in our dishes. We don't want an ingredient to come up more
Yeah.
than the others, for example.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, how would you, if you could choose one word to describe British food in general, what would it be?
British?
Good answer.
Yes.
What about fish and chips? Have you tried it?
Yeah, I tried fish and chips, and it was really, how can I say, useful because my bike was out of grease, and so you know,
You needed some grease to
yeah.
get
Yeah.
on.
You know, I just crunched at a certain point the fish,
Yeah.
and so it was just dripping oil, and that was really handy. Yeah, because it was perfect for my chain, and you know,
Okay.
to clean the rust out of the petals. No, the thing is, fish and chips, I kind of like it. Still, it's too greasy for me, for my
Okay.
taste.
Fair
In
enough.
fact, I've seen some people, non-British people, just peeling the cod and
Yes.
just eating the cod.
Taking the batter off. Yeah, the
Yeah,
outside out.
exactly. Yeah.
Right. Any other dishes that stand out for you since you've been in the UK, either for good or bad reasons?
So I really liked the Sunday roast. That was really appreciated. With the York pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, Yorkshire pudding was really good, and I did that in Italy as well. And my fellow Italian friends, they really liked it.
Okay, so you made a Sunday
I
roast
made
in
a Sunday
Italy.
roast in Italy, yeah, and with Yorkshire pudding from scratch. And so
Not
they,
ready made, no?
no, not ready made. They really liked it. Another thing I like are the pies here. So let's say the steak and kidney pie,
Yeah.
the fish pies, I think. Yeah, so I mean, those are pretty good. I really like
Nice.
them.
And last question I wanted to ask you, Flower, is about Italian, because I know you're a passionate cook yourself.
Yes.
And could you perhaps choose one Italian dish and could you explain how you make it and why it's so good?
Hmm. Okay.
I know it's hard to choose one, but if you could.
I will just go for carbonara. Carbonara, which is the dish that everybody messes up.
Right.
So, guys, first of all, carbonara it's super simple because you just need. Hmm. So in Italy we have something which is like bacon, but it's instead the cheek of the pig.
Right.
We call it guanciale. So and it's I mean it's really simple because you just need pecorino cheese, salt, and York. And I honestly don't remember if you need whole eggs and then a York, on just the yolk.
Is it the yolk in the egg?
Yeah, the red part.
The yolk. Okay.
So yeah, what you just do is that you have to mix. So you have to whisker.
Whisk.
Yeah, you have to whisk the yolk or the round egg. Go on the internet and look for the recipe because I don't really remember it now. So yeah, you just you whisk it with the pecorino cheese, some salt and pepper. You fry the guanciale in its own fat, so you just need a very hot pan. You dice the guanciale up, you put it on this hot pan, let it cook on its grease, and then you just need to boil pasta and mix all together. The thing is, it's really good because it's like the egg will link all the flavors together. You will have the spiciness, let's say, from pepper. You will have the saltiness and pungent flavor from the pecorino cheese. The egg will round everything up, and yeah, and then it's kind of so it's difficult because if you don't do that with the right timing, you will end up with spaghetti and scrambled eggs. A trick you can use is that you use the cooking water, the pasta cooking water,
Okay.
to make it a little bit creamy. Please, guys, first boil water and then put pasta in the water. Don't put oil in water because every time you mess up with an Italian recipe, an Italian grandmother will explode. So please save our grandmothers because we really care about them.
And normally when I make spaghetti fat, I put the spaghetti in the pan first, then I put the cold water in, and then I put the heat on, so it boils like that. Is it wrong?
Yeah, sorry, I heard an explosion
Right.
there.
Okay, I will watch this video again so I know how to do it properly. Okay.
So yeah, no, you have to first boil the pasta because boil the water because the boiling water will ensure an
Homogeneous.
homogeneous cooking of the pasta,
Nice.
and also because I mean pasta cooks from outside
Yeah.
in, right?
Yeah.
So if pasta is getting hot with water, first of all, the weight of the pasta will just go everywhere. Instead, if you put pasta in boiling water, will be like a shock, right? So you will give like a, I don't know how to say that. This is so ingrained in my habits. Yeah, basically you are shocking pasta, so wheat is not going everywhere.
Right.
You will still have some wheat in water. That's why before draining the pasta, if you keep some of that water and when you mix it with the sauce, you can just so the wheat will just make everything creamy because it's like adding flour to a soup, right? It will become more dense and more linked all together.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Fra.
You're welcome.
Anything else you want to say or talk about during this video, or we can finish now?
Whatever you want. I could teach you guys how to cook some Italian recipes. We don't put garlic, first of all. I mean, we just use garlic in very, very, very specific dishes. But garlic in pasta, it's a nope usually. Cream in pasta, it's a nope usually. Uh, Sour cream was imported. We don't have sour cream. Fettuccine Alfredo, it's something which doesn't exist in Italy. Please don't do that. Spaghetti and meatballs do not exist in Italy. Please don't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I mean,
Who knew?
who knew? Yeah, see, since Disney just messed up with our tradition. So it's damn new Disney. Yeah, no, but we do ragu, which is so ragu. Either you have ragu bolognese, which is with minced meat, tomato sauce, blah 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 blah, or we do another kind of ragu, which is with whole meat pieces, and those pieces are first stir fried with onions and oil and celery and carrots, and then You add tomato sauce, you let it cook for 3 hours, and you separately boil pasta, and then you mix them together.
Lovely.
It is.
Cool. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your love of Italian food and British culture
Oh, yes,
with everyone
please.
watching. We really appreciate it.
Anytime.
I just wanted to say to everyone that Flat, as an English speaker, his vocabulary in particular is really outstanding. So don't worry if you're not as good as him, but keep studying. I'm sure you will be one day. And yeah, thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome.
So thank you everyone for watching, and I will be back soon. I'll make some more videos on the usual channels: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you like. You can look in the description for the notes, and I have the website links there. So once more, thank you very much.
Prego.
I'll see you later, and bye to everyone watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.